Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am super excited to start talking about Halo Wars 2's art style. Now, a little summary, Halo Wars 2's art style is a mix of both the new and the classic art styles, with classic aspects coming from Halo 2 Anniversary, and new aspects coming from Halo 5. So in this video, I'm going to try and assess this sort of hybrid art style, and touch on the many good things that it does, and also critique the very few, yet sadly still significant, less so good things that it does. Now, for the record, I'm focusing only on the in-game art style, and not the art style in the blur cutscenes, because there seems to be a really weird disconnect between the two styles. So if you are as hyped as I am for the return of so many classic, iconic designs, then don't forget to leave a like down below, and also let me know your overall thoughts on the Halo Wars 2 art style in the comments. Like it? Don't like it? Kinda, sorta, maybe like it? Let me know. So, let's begin with the UNSC art style. Green is back, baby. The overall colouring of the UNSC is fantastic, and a return to the more familiar, realistic, and heavily militaristic designs that we all loved in Halo 2 and 3 specifically. We have marines and vehicles with realistic colouring that fits their purpose. They blend in with the environment as they're supposed to, all while looking authentic and also fitting in with the theme of the UNSC and also the Spirit of Fire. The consistent colouring of these designs not only strengthens them, but also gives them a sort of guerrilla warfare vibe that's only strengthened by the badass accent-diverse voice acting. Honestly, it's so cool hearing Scottish Hellbringers alongside Australian snipers, American Marines, and fucking Russian grizzly drivers. It is such a refreshing change from the regular, near-identical accents that you hear between units in like 98% of other RTSs. Now, very few of these units got redesigns. Most only just got graphical touch-ups, which only helps them retain their original look. I wouldn't say that many of the original Halo Wars designs were iconic before, but they definitely slotted into the classic art style, and in Halo Wars 2, they still do. That's the beauty of it. Put simply, I can imagine literally every single one of these units in Halo 3 or Halo 2. The only UNSC units that got actual redesigns were the Scorpion and the Marines. Now, the Scorpion just has the Halo 5 design, which I'm personally not fond of, and the Marines also have the Halo 5 design, which I really don't like. But honestly, I'm not overly fussed about this. The green body armor and seeming lack of Kevlar body armor makes the Marines look far better. It's just the helmet that triggers me now. This helmet is like the most overbearing thing ever. It must give you like a 0.1 degree field of view. As for the Scorpion, the turret lacks the original sort of Scorpion's tail look that the old design had. But honestly, I'm not going to bitch and moan about it, because considering all the other changes, it's not that big of an issue. It really isn't. Also used is the classic Pelican design, which is seemingly the Reach design, instead of the ugly, unaerodynamic and bulbous Pelican design that we've had since Halo 4. Now, they haven't just not included this design. No. Instead, they've done something very clever with it. It's been implemented as a form of spawnable pelican, technically a condor, I guess, of which it shares a really similar shape, and my god, is this thing badass. I love that we have both designs alongside each other, and this only adds more weight to the idea that having elements of both art styles put together moving forward is hands down the best way to go. As for the UNSC architecture, the game is set on the Ark, so I mean there isn't much by means of UNSC buildings aside from citadels and the buildings themselves. The UNSC citadels in this game look totally different to Halo Wars 1, but there's a really good reason for that, and the design definitely still fits. There's no excessive cylinders or handlebars or railings, like there seems to be in the Halo 4 and Halo 5 UNSC aesthetic, which is great. It's not overly designed. Now, the reason that the design of the Citadel fits is that it resembles a sort of pop-up camp more than an actual established base, which really fits the theme of the game. The Spirit of Fire is essentially stranded above the Ark, with nothing but its own supplies on an alien world. So, of course they're going to be building things for temporary use, considering how much they're going to be moving around and exploring the Ark. Unlike the bases they built on, say, Harvest or Arcadia in Halo Wars 1, for example, which fit the role of an established permanent base far more given the story. Now, there's nothing much to say really about the new building designs. I think the generator looks really cool, but honestly, they just all fit and they all look good. Okay, so moving on to the Banished's art style. I have tried, trust me guys, I have tried for a long time to find something that I don't like in this art style. I've actively tried to seek one design that I don't like in the Banished's art style, and honestly, I can't. I genuinely cannot find one thing that I don't like. 343 and Creative Assembly's art team have struck a perfect chord with the Banished's art style. It resembles the Covenant, as the Banished are this game's version of the Covenant, but it fits their more savage and brutish theme, while still retaining the iconic designs from the classic Halo art style absolutely perfectly. The colours and paints used on the units is perfect too. A real heavy emphasis on gunmetal and crimson is just so fitting for the faction's animalistic, savage nature, and the extra metal plating on everything doesn't dampen the design and make it unrecognisable. It just adds to it in a really respectful and tasteful manner. Now, in terms of specific units, I'm not a huge fan of the post-Halo 4 grunt design. But you know what? In this game, that doesn't matter. Both designs are side by side, with the newer design taking the role of suicide grunts, which honestly I think fits their design given how feral they look, compared to the old design, which takes the role of the regular, plasma pistol wielding grunt, complete with the iconic curved methane pack that we all know and love. The Banshee, in my opinion, hands down looks the best that it's ever looked since Halo 3, and maybe even better than Halo 3. The Wraith looks like the Wraith again. The Ghost, which is a vehicle that's design I would previously have associated only with an Elite, has been touched up and ever so slightly redesigned, but in a good sense, to fit this brute aesthetic, and my god does it work so well. Even new units that we've never seen in Halo before, like the Blisterback, or the Reaver, or the Shroud, and the Marauder, all look fantastic, and as I previously said, even with their animalistic and savage and downright brutish designs, I could genuinely still picture all four of them under Tartarus's control in Halo 2, or being used to defend the Ark's control room in Halo 3. The Blisterback and Shroud, in particular, are two very, very unique designs that give off a sort of insectoid vibe, and I'm honestly in love with them. The Shroud in particular kind of gives me a Reaper for Mass Effect vibe too, but maybe that's where the inspiration came from. But either way, these two things look so mysterious, but really threatening as well. Just fan-fucking-tastic, dude. Fantastic. However, there are two final things in the Banished art style that I have to talk about. The first is a redesign, the Scarab. Now, I've missed the Scarab for a long time now. I was begging for 343 to add it into Halo 4 after Reach's basically non-existent encounter, and then I also begged for them to add it back to Halo 5, of course to no avail. Well, the Scarab is back, and my god, does it look better than ever. It's inspired more by the Halo 2 design, except this time it's far bulkier, and sounds so much heavier. The extra plating, colour and lighting on it look beautiful and really convey its threat. The missile pods on top are an awesome addition too, and the beam fits the Banished's almost feral nature as well, where you can see the liquid plasma is quite literally dropping out of its mouth. This is my favourite Scarab design by far, and I legit cannot stop spawning them in skirmishes just to look at them. These things look goddamn beautiful. But there's one last thing I want to talk about. The Elites, and my god, The elites look like elites again. They actually look like elites, not brutes. They look, behave, and are designed like elites. The honor guard looks fucking beautiful. So, honestly, 343, thank you so much. I honestly cannot thank 343 and Creative Assembly enough. Thank you. Let's carry this design into Halo 6. Please? Please, let's carry it into Halo 6. As for the Banished architecture, honestly, not much to say after gushing over the elites in the Scarab. It looks really good, it fits their nature. My favourite building has to go with the Power Extractor. Its animations are just beautiful, really. Really nice animations. Right, now, the Forerunner art style is where I begin to take issue, as quite a few people have done so far. Now, both the Aggressor and Super Sentinels look fantastic, both very reminiscent of their original designs from Halo 3 and the original Halo Wars, so really no gripes here. The Retriever Sentinel also looks pretty good, but it's where my problems with this game's Forerunner art style begin. It uses Halo 5's Forerunner art style. Now, this means very pristine silver chrome metal with an excess of disconnected floaty bits. Now, in my opinion, this Forerunner aesthetic that we've had since Halo 5 just simply doesn't work for the Forerunners. It does not fit the Forerunners in my opinion. Like, not at all. They are an ancient race, essentially extinct for over 100,000 years. Their architecture and creations should not look pristine. They should not look shiny, they should not look clean. They should look ancient, dusty, and monasterial. They should have small, subtle accents and textures, not massive, loud, aggressive floaty bits that jut out from walls and floors and just about everywhere. But even after disregarding this, not once is the classic Forerunner aesthetic used in-game on the Ark. Everything from common recognizable structures to new areas are completely redesigned. The Ark's entire Forerunner architecture is totally, drastically different to the last time we were on the Ark in Halo 3, and what saddens me most about this is that very, very rarely in this game did I actually feel like I was back on the Ark, like I was back on that same Forerunner structure that we were on in Halo 3. I didn't get that vibe as much as I was hoping for. Now, that's going to cut it for the Forerunner art style. It's literally the only thing that I take issue with, aside from the fucking marine helmets, but frankly, that's such a minor thing. It's not even a complaint. The problem is, though, I have such an issue with this new Forerunner art style. It really just... I don't know what it was, but it just didn't fit the Ark. It does not fit the Ark. I am planning a video critiquing the Forerunner art style specifically after I'm done with the elites, because honestly, this art style needs to change. It absolutely needs to. It does not fit the Forerunners. So, in summary, Halo Wars 2 is a new Halo game that finally looks like Halo for the first time in years. The only downside is the Forerunner aesthetic, and unfortunately, for me at least, it's a pretty significant downside. However, moving forward into Halo 6, it is absolutely imperative that 343 adopt this art style. Jeremy Cook, the lead art director at 343 for Halo Wars 2, and his team have done a fantastic job hearing our art style complaints, and honestly for that, I cannot thank you enough. Anyways, that's going to do it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed. My story review, along with theories, is coming next week after you've all finished the game, because I don't want to start throwing spoilers out there at you guys in videos that you might want to watch. So I have some really, really good theories surrounding the campaign, some really interesting theories so far. I'm super excited to make videos about them, so that should be following on from next weekend. So thanks again for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you then.